Greetings! Have you by any chance lived between the years 1558 and 1603? You have? Marvelous! Then there might be a possibility that you experienced some of these situations. Did you witness a society rapidly transforming with a new focus on exploration and culinary adventures? Were you part of an era marked by flourishing of the arts, including groundbreaking works on literature and theatre? Did you observe the intricate interplay between the rise of individualism and the renewed interest in classical antiquity? Or perhaps were you involved in the vibrant cultural and intellectual exchanges that characterized this period? Well, if so, you might require legal assistance.
Are you or someone you know a victim of complex literature? Were you misled by complex words that left you scratching your head? Well, you might be entitled to financial compensation.
This so-called golden era was great for some, but for most was a time of confusion and bewilderment. Writers embraced the medieval values, but with changes of language and themes. This often led to audiences being lost in translation. Have you been bamboozled by these linguistic shifts? Are you still trying to decode a sonnet?
If you have suffered due to the secularization of language or the shift from grand stories to introspective musings, well, let me tell you, you may have the case. What? Tax evasion? Go now to the offices of SpearShake and let us help you to get the compensation you deserve for surviving the Elizabethan Renaissance. Theater and acting are two of the best inventions since unsliced bread, but you have to be aware of those pesky amateur actors. Now acting is a respected and professional job, thanks to the Lord Chamberlain's main acting group. But, of course, always if our Majesty allows it. If you or your loved ones have been illegally exposed to the art of theater, guess what? You can sue that illegal performer. Licensed actors can be waiting at any corner.
I was taking a stroll when a group of unlicensed actors jumped on me. Between their soliloquy and monologues, I got scarred for life. But thanks to SpearShake, I was able to take this case to court and get the justice I deserve. Now I have never heard of a similar tragedy outside of the beat in the globe since.
All social classes went to see the plays, but have you, as a noble, been offended by an actor in a subtle way?
It's common for actors and playwrights to hide political messages against the nobility and the majesty. But look at you are experts in cases of life.
We can work something out with the geniuses behind calling it the theater.
I can't believe I had to endure witnessing Romeo and Juliet, where Juliet was not a 30-year-old man. I mean, fortunately for me, SpearShake compensated me for my emotional distress.
I didn't really want to do this, but people need to know what Queen Elizabeth does and how she affects us, common people, not peasants. And people need to know about the taxation. We pay for everything, her mansions, her parties, even her dresses. And who pays for that? The people, the common folk, the beige-wearing people. Even he pays for her taxes. Sure. And this needs to stop. And people treat her like a goddess, but she's not a goddess. I know what she is. She's just a human being that is being praised by the purple-wearing people and us poor people. We need to unveil her secrets. She's just like us, but with expensive dresses. And if you don't comply with her laws, her taxes, and her religion, your head gets cut off? That's unacceptable. And after all the taxes and the laws and her pressure, I might get sent to war? I have never enjoyed my life even once. That's why Queen Elizabeth needs to pay. Yeah, that's... Okay, so if you're tired of the taxes, the wars, and the endless pressure, you need to call SpearShake, and they'll fight for the compensation you deserve.
Were you or a loved one subjected to questionable medical practices during the Elizabethan era? Did the so-called physicians treat you with strange concoctions or breathe you dry, all while the streets were filled with garbage? When you're correctly diagnosed with the bubonic plague, or even worse, Judaism, if so, you might be entitled to financial compensation.
I remember it like it was yesterday. The streets were filled with filth, and the stench was unbearable. Anyways, we didn't know it at the time, but all that garbage and those open sewers were making us sick. Those physicians didn't know what was wrong with us. They did not understand germs or bacteria. Instead, they followed the ancient teachings of Aristotle or Hippocrates, focusing on trying to fix the humors in our bodies. They said my humors were out of balance, and that the only solution was to bleed me over and over and over again. And when that did not work, not only did they blame the stars, but they said that the planets were misaligned, and that was the cause of my illness. Luckily, I survived, but I wouldn't wish that treatment on anyone else. If you or someone you know went through the same thing, don't hesitate. Call SpearShake Law Firm today.
Don't suffer alone. Let us help you to get the justice you rightfully deserve. Go on now.
Did a royal guard confiscate your clothes? Were you beaten just because your clothes were too fancy? Well, did you know you had rights? Just because you're dressed like a noble, they think you're up to no good. But don't fret, because now you can fight back. The only service that guarantees that you wear whatever you please. Now, we guaranteed no disrobing. Whether it's wearing a velvet cape that makes you look like a duke, or following the latest trends, the EWP plan has got you covered. Literally. Call now and get your first month free, because in this world, the clothes make the man, and we make sure that it stay that way.
Yeah, I went to the bear gardens once, but it would be a good time. You know, bears, dogs, gardens, a bit of medieval fun. Until I lost my hand, my arm, my legs, pretty much everything else. Next thing I know, I'm missing my arm, my legs, and everything else you can think of. And all I got in return was, well, this.
If you or someone you know attended one of these berry gardens and left with more than just a memory, give us a call at SpearShake. We will fight for your right for compensation. Because losing your limbs shouldn't be the price you pay for entertainment. We will fight. I mean that.